from an undisclosed location under a farm pond somewhere in the Midwest. Your host is Jim Crowley. This is Slickfish Radio. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Slickfish Radio. Welcome to everybody joining us on Facebook and on YouTube, and then eventually on Roku, Fire TV, Amazon Music, iTunes, and Spotify. So glad to have everybody here tonight. We are going to have a very, very fun show tonight. We have Mary Christy on. For those of you who love rod building, and more importantly, if you want to get really creative and be really decorative with those rods, I haven't found anybody better than Mary Christy. And I met her a while back through American Tackle, and she was there again this year at ICAST, showing off her skills. And Wes Christy just joined in. Well, Wes, good. I'm glad you had to be here tonight, buddy, or you would have been in some big trouble. I'm just telling you. So good call on your part. So we're going to talk to Mary here in a little bit, and we're going to find out her background. And she's already won a People's Choice Award, I think, for decorative rod building. We're going to get into her, talk about her podcast a little bit. A new one just started up, and as well as the Decorative Studio and the wraps that she does and all that stuff. We're going to talk about all that. But first, couple announcements for you. I want to first and foremost, I want to thank all our friends at American Tackle. Again, everybody's still riding high from winning Best of Show at ICAST. So that was great. Hey, look who just chimed in. My goodness, you knew she was going to be here. And Jim, how are you doing? So Savannah and Jim Kolba are here. Donald Haas is here tonight. Donald, look good. Donald, I'm telling you, I still think that cigar is bad to the bone. I really like that picture. Mr. Patrick Bowden, all the way from Missouri. How you doing, Patrick? Looking forward to well, you know what? December is going to be here before you know it, buddy. So we do a great event. Pat allows me to be on this great event that he has for the high school anglers, and it's just an incredible event. We will tell you more about that as time approaches. And so Wes says he's keeping the shop of the table. Very good, very good. No, we're great for having everybody here and everybody chiming in. Glad to have y'all here. Thanks again to our friends at American Tackle. I am heading back up to La Crosse in a couple weeks. Going to finish out season 2 of Jim Crowley Outdoors on Wired to Fish TV, and we are going to finish up in La Crosse. I'm really, really looking forward to that. We always have a great time there. I tell you this all the time when we do a podcast, and I'm serious about this. I understand that Explore La Crosse advertises with us, but if anybody out there, if your family is looking for a wonderful summer or fall destination, the La Crosse region is beautiful. It is beautiful. Plenty of places to stay, plenty of places to eat, and obviously a lot of great fishing there. But if you haven't been to the La Crosse area, just look it up. That's not going to cost you anything, but look it up. It is truly a beautiful region, and one, bike riding, fishing. There's just a lot of stuff to do there. So check in. You can find out all that at explorelacrosse.com. Our friends at Shields. Nobody stocks a store better than Shields. They have a new home department now that just opened up a month or two back, and it's so guys, bring your wives there. I know my wife Rhonda loves it there. She loves it. There's a lot of stuff there, and they're going to spend a lot of money. But it's Shields. It's a great place to do it. As soon as you walk in the store, it says "God Bless America" right there. What more could you possibly want? Shields is a great store and does a lot for all the outdoor sports. So if you're in the Springfield area, stop by. That 65-foot Ferris wheel is really pretty cool. Saltwater aquarium, all kinds of cool stuff. Our friends at Cast King, bunch of new stuff coming out, even more now. There's a new Ski Reese reels. There's going to be some new rods. There's always something new tackle boxes. There's new tools and pliers. Cast King continues to upgrade their stuff, and it's incredible stuff. Oh my goodness, look who Fluffy just joined us. Hi, Kevin. How are you, buddy? Glad that he's here. Dave Schroeder's here. Hi, guys. You guys are just great tonight coming in. So happy to have you all here. So, yeah, we're going to give you a discount code like we always do at the end of the show for American Tackle as well as Cast King. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the show. So that way you can I'm giving you 20% off codes. If this is the first time that you're joining us, please make sure you stay tuned to the end of the show. And if you like what we're about to do, and I'm sure you will, please share Slickfish Radio with anybody and everybody. We continue to grow, and it's all because of a lot of you. My beautiful wife, Rhonda, just chimed in. I have to show her pretty face on there. There she is right there. Hi, guys, and everybody just coming in. This is just crazy. I also want to thank our friends at Dakota Lithium, the first people to ever hop on with Slickfish Radio. And we are powered by Dakota Lithium and their 11-year warranty. And they are top of the line innovation when it comes to lithium batteries. And we are so glad that they are part of it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. An old neighborhood friend just coming up. Patrick, how you doing, buddy? Glad you joined us tonight. And what is news? There have been a bit since I've caught a live stream. Glad to be on. Well, it's about time. Where the heck you been? Glad that you're here. Hey, without further ado, we have a guest here who's sitting there in the backstage in the green room, as we call it, and she's just laughing. Check out this setup she has. Mary,
hey.
Look at. Holy cow! You didn't do this all just for us? My goodness.
I wish I could say it was just for you, but it was not for just.
I don't. You spent way too much money on just coming on this show. I can tell you that.
Yes.
So hey, we are really glad to have you, and we ran into each other. I think we've been trying to set up this interview right now for it's probably close to a year since I cast before last, and so I'm glad to finally have you on. And you've been extremely busy. Just a little bit. I mean, I saw you at ICAST and you were constantly doing your raps there and people are constantly stopping by. And that is one of the things that I've noticed about you. You love to teach what you love to do.
Yes, that's 100% everything. Like I love to share the passion behind the craft and, getting into decorative wraps because a lot of people struggled with it when they first kind of started trying to learn about it. And I try to take that struggle out of it by kind of explaining it a little bit simpler. So,
and I think that's great. Now I heard part of the story, but as I remember and as I read back through your bio, it was Wes who introduced you to rod stuff. So this is 100% all his fault.
It is 100% his fault.
So can you tell us a little bit about the process of this and what happened?
So when the original part of it was we were up in his grandfather's room because Wes started building in 2007 and he opened up his business, Palmetto Rod and Reel, 2010. And we started dating in 2011. So that year he introduced me to custom rod building and we were up there sitting, chatting. I was watching him put like epoxy on a rod or something. And he picked up a book, the Decorative Wraps book. And he was like, "You're really crafty at this. I think you could figure it out." And he threw the book across the room to me. And I had been fishing maybe 2 times in my life at that point. I had no idea about custom fishing rods. I was legit like no knowledge. And so I went through it, tried to figure it out. It took me a month going through a whole bunch of stuff. And we got into Palmetto, started getting busier. I started doing more customs. We had reel repair, rod repair, reel maintenance, doing all kinds of stuff, selling inventory, like components and everything. And then we actually took a break in 2019 because my youngest was born and I had to homeschool my oldest. And so it was like, I don't think I can handle everything. But in 2020, I opened up the Decorative Studio because we had created the Southern Rod Builders group and had been teaching on there, sharing everything, doing live videos since its creation, which was like 2017 or something, or 15, somewhere around in there. And that's when I realized that I just loved to teach and I love to help people get past those little bumps in the road that people just were like, "Nope, I'm not sharing any of that information. You just got to figure it out yourself." And the Decorative Studio started because Wes actually had to go back he went and changed jobs. And so he's HVAC, so he's never home. And so I just kept going on doing what I did, which was teaching people. So I got an online school that teaches how to do decorative wraps. I build customs for people. I still have Facebook groups. I've got a women's group that I've opened up, trying to get more women rod builders into it. And we just started a podcast because I wanted to get Wes more involved with it again. So we have the podcast. It's called Decorate It. And the entire podcast is talking about all of the stuff that you could put on a custom rod to make it decorative. And it doesn't have to be an elaborate piece. It could just be talking about simple inlay, like trim bands and, changing out winding checks and stuff. So it's been a fun project.
Yeah. One thing that I really like about rod building, and you and I both work with American Tackle.
Yes.
and just such a great group.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, just a great group of people over there. We always have so much fun with all of them, and every single one of them over there is a rod builder.
Yes.
And so it's really neat to see where everybody's passion comes from. I mean, I'm like you. I didn't know anything about rod building till about 7 or 8 years ago. And Don Morse from American Tackle just said, you need to start building your own rods, you know? And then, of course, then Don always chimes in whenever we're going back over the history of this. And if you saw the show, but you said you saw the show with Don on it, and Don says and you're laughing right, because he said there's only 3 ways to build a rod: the right way, the wrong way, and the way that Crowley does it.
Yep.
And which is, I think, is somewhat of a left-handed compliment. That's why I never send him stuff anymore, because he always criticizes me. But anyway, he's brutally honest.
I love it.
But my passion is the same as yours. I think I've been in the outdoor industry about 30 years, and I love the teaching part of it. I like seeing somebody's. AJ Gore just came on. There's AJ. Said, "Hello, Jim. Hello, Mary. Thanks for joining us, AJ." I love seeing people's face light up when they get it, or when or they didn't know something. Whether I'm talking to them about building the lure, building the rod, tying a knot, doing something, and like, I never thought of that.
Yep.
That goes, and that's the cool thing about working with some of the companies that we work with is we use the stuff because we believe in it, and then you're able to turn that around and show people how to be more productive. Mm-hmm. With those, whatever it is, whether with those rod blanks, with when it comes to your wrapping, reels, whatever it is, and that light goes on, and you can tell by looking at you're the same way. You get that smile, and you go, because you want to see people succeed. I think that's one of the biggest reasons we do it. I mean, do you feel the same way? Do you feel really happy when you show somebody something and they get it, and you go, you know what, that was worth me getting up this morning?
Yes, I love that. That's one of the reasons why I started teaching the decorative wraps, because there was a whole bunch of people that I had talked to, especially in the Southern group, because that's where I found all this disconnect between how to figure out how to do them. And so I was teaching people on the live videos. Here's how you do this layout. Here's how you do this. Here's some tips I've learned so far on packing. And then I started the online school for the decorative wraps, and there's like 500 people enrolled in it already, which so wow. Obviously there is a, this helps, because most people nowadays are more visual, and not everybody can travel to like gatherings or somebody's house, or they don't have somebody in their area that can show them. And the idea got started because, one, there was the disconnect. Two, when we were going to the expos and stuff, people were coming up and they were like, can you tell me how to do this? And so I've just always kind of naturally fell into that. Let me show you. Let me teach you, because I want them to succeed. I want them to excel, because I keep telling people it's not just about putting a decorative wrap on the rod. It's about adding a skill set into your repertoire, and then the customers come to you. Right. It's like if you build it, they will come kind of thing. And a lot of people are like, my market won't handle it. I can't do this. I can't do that. And I'm like, you can, just because somebody said you couldn't do it doesn't mean you can't. You just got to figure out what it will work on,
Yeah. And there's a bunch of great statements there, but there was. Well, no, the thing is that you're passionate about. I always feel that I am attracted to people. I want to work with people that are passionate about something. My wife is an absolutely incredible baker and has a vision about doing cakes, and that is where her passion is, and she's very, very good at it, and she attracts people to her because of her talent. The same thing happens with you. My favorite thing to do is seminars live. I love being live. I like seeing that excitement in people's faces. I like them shaking their heads going, oh, I get that. It's fun. It's all about passing stuff on. I'll give you a perfect example of somebody that we have in common, and I'm going to embarrass her right now, and you know who I'm going to talk about, and that's Savannah Colba. So I think Savannah, her dad, started coming to my seminars when she was like 11 or 12, and here's a little girl in the front row taking notes. And I'm like, I thought she was doodling at first or something. I'm like, I've had people take notes in my seminars, but not a young lady sitting there so attentive. And she has passion for the outdoors. You've seen it. I've seen it. A lot of people at ICAST this year saw it. there's a lot of possibility there. There's a lot of potential there. And even she clicked on tonight, and she is working on a wrap as we speak, is what she said. I think this is here's her comment right there. Here you go. She goes, I'm working on wraps as we speak. And you've already been a big influence on her. And I've seen some of her work, and it's already a great talent. When you teach this, talk a little bit about your women's group, because some guys may know this, they may not, but whether it be fishing or shooting, women are the largest part of both of those sports, whether it be hunting, shooting, fishing. Women are the largest part, and taking more, in my opinion, taking more initiative. And I love to see it, because it helps grow the sport. It helps grow our popularity. It helps grow our strength. Mm-hmm. And I love seeing that. So what have you felt like with this group growing and seeing? What are some of the things that are you seeing with this group since you started it?
Well, the Women's Rod Building Alliance is the name of the group, and it's a very infant group. I just started it like last year, I believe. But it's done really well. So like, as far as the Facebook community is concerned, rod building women are very minute, and you don't see as many of them posting, or they're just not comfortable posting, and they're out there building. And so I wanted to have this place where people that were interested in it, people that lady anglers that might take an interest in maybe, just learning to fix their rods, or, maybe tweak them a little bit, any of that stuff. I'm welcoming all those women into the community so we can learn and kind of help each other grow overall, because the women, it seems in the last couple of years, I've started to see some of these powerhouses coming out of nowhere. And it's like, where did you come from? I want to be your friend, like how did this happen? And every time I get in a conversation with most of them, they're very, what's the word? Not skittish, but like they're not
they're
as
nervous.
Yeah, they're not as comfortable posting, because it's such a male dominated, commenters as far as that's concerned. We do know that women are a big part of the industry. I've been seeing, probably because I got the women's group, I'm seeing all this stuff just whoosh out of nowhere. And it's like, the steam behind that engine is going. I'm trying to get a group gathering together for them. I'm going to be talking to some ladies that are actually running women's fishing groups that are in actually my state, South Carolina, and seeing if I can help them learn how to build rods or do any of that kind of stuff. And I don't know, it's been a learning experience, because it's trying to figure out what they are wanting overall, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool, because it's a learning experience for both of you.
Yeah.
And so you guys get to work on that together, and it's just going to end up working well for everybody. What I want to do when we get back, I want to talk a little bit about the threadcentral.net, a little bit more. We're going to take a break for a couple minutes. Would you happen to have any of your work close by that you could pull up while we're talking, or while the break is going on?
I'm like physical rods to look at, or pictures. I got a bunch right over there.
I was going to say, you probably can't be that far from it.
No, they're right there.
So I would like people to see some of your work. So when we come back from the break, we got about 2.5 minutes where we come back, and then we can take a look at some of your work, because I really want people to see I don't know any other way, the creative. They're beautiful. They're works of art.
The insanity.
The insanity. I don't know what's going on in your head, but it comes out really good in a wrap. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. So as usual, what we do, folks, we will be back. As I always say, what Chuck Woolery used to say, well, we'll be back. I'm really dating myself with that. And we'll be back in 2 and 2. American Tackle is home to the award-winning microwave line control system. Rod blanks to reel seats, ferrules to finish, grips to guides. They are committed to the very best in rod building components. Find out more, americantackle.us. With fishing beyond your expectations, indoor and outdoor activities, a vast variety of places to eat, drink, and stay. Discover your next adventure between the bluffs. ExploreLaCrosse.com. Located in Springfield, Illinois' largest selection of sports and sportswear, hunting, fishing, specialty shops and services, a 65-foot Ferris wheel, 16,000-gallon saltwater aquarium, and industry-leading knowledgeable employees. You don't take chances at Shields, ever. Go to Shields.com. Achieving affordable innovation through novel concepts and in-house ingenious designs. Cast King cost-effective e-commerce practices directly market to consumers, cutting costs by 30% or more on average. Affordable innovation, superior quality. CastKing.com. Believing quality is measured by lifespan and harnessing their unique chemistry and engineering know-how. Dakota Lithium lasts 4 times longer, powering your passion with an 11-year warranty. Find out more, DakotaLithium.com.
Slickfish Radio with Jim Crowley can be seen and heard on Roku, Fire TV, Spotify, Amazon Music, and iTunes.
There we go. Come here. Get in here. Yeah. Nice fish right there. Hi, I'm Jim Crowley. Make sure you catch my show, Jim Crowley Outdoors, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, exclusively on Wired to Fish TV. Look for Jim Crowley Outdoors on Wired to Fish TV on free ad-supported streaming TV, including Plex, that can be downloaded in the App Store at Apple TV, Roku, Samsung, and others. And we are back with Mary Christy. And I want to add to that about Wired to Fish TV. All of season 1 and most of season 2 is now on Wired to Fish TV. And you can find that, as you said, on Plex. Also, Fubo. I think we just added Sports Tribal. I think we're on like 9 different streaming stations now. And if you can't find any of those, all of that has been added to my new updated YouTube channel. So all the Slickfish Radio episodes, all of season 1 and most of season 2 from Wired to Fish TV is now on YouTube. So we updated the page and all those are up there. So you can watch them whatever you want. Please feel free to subscribe. I hope you do. And again, if you're enjoying this episode of Slickfish Radio, please make sure you share it. Like I always tell you, I couldn't have this show if it wasn't for all of you. So I appreciate all your support and all your kind words. And with that being said, we are back with Mary. And I really wanted to see some of your, is there a rod that you just finished up or a couple that you can show us? What do you have? I saw you walking around back there, so I know you got something. What do you got?
I try to grab a variety, okay? Because I have quite a few that are like kind of similar. So this is hold on, let me get it the right way.
What were you smoking when you made that one? Holy cow, look at all that stuff on there, woman.
This is a Alice in Wonderland rod.
I love it.
If you can't tell, see my little Cheshire cat. I'm actually building this for kids for like a Disney theme kind of thing. And then I put on there, Alice is up here. She's really tiny. And the Mad Hatter is down here at the bottom. But I painted the rabbit hole, if you will. Yeah. It's still, I got to finish the guides on it. It's half built. So she's a work in progress. How
do you hold that rod one back up for a second? I got a question to ask you now.
Sure.
So how do you get those designs on that's got to be EVA, isn't it?
Yeah, let me see if I can get it to where you can see the try not.
Yeah. So how did you do that?
So that's a whole lot of cutting, gluing back together, and then like basically wrapping it around.
Okay.
It took a lot of time. This is actually the first time that I tried to do this technique. And it turned out, I mean, it's not perfect, but it turned out like, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, I did the teacups with the little cards and everything. And yeah, it was, that one was a learning experience, to say the least.
Well, that was really cool. I mean, that's really elaborate. What else you got there?
So I pulled out a fly rod. I don't know if you actually do know. Cool. Too. This was for the International Challenge a few years ago. But this one, Wes and I built together. Okay. And I just grabbed the rear section of it, but it's we mixed birch bark with different corks. This actually has the extend a butt option on it.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
For leverage. We had that was turned down, custom grip. I put a little wrap here in this little section that was a spider and a pinwheel. It's really hard to see on far away, but and then standard, real simple. This that one's a 3-piece, I believe.
Don't knock your lighting down.
I know. I'm trying not to like stab the ceiling. I grabbed some of the shorter ones too. So a lot of the rods we build are surf rods. And
oh my goodness, look at that.
This is a 2-piece anchor. This is my husband's. And if you were watching any of the podcast stuff, you've seen him kind of complain that it's taken me 6 years to get this far on it, but he can hush his mouth because we've had kids. But
my goodness.
We had a custom painted. He wanted it to look like Hulkbuster.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
this little piece is a piece that I got from, it's actually off of an air hose that came from Lowe's.
This is my Lowe's custom rod.
It is. And there's like carbon fiber with little, I put threads going back and forth. The real seat
Oh
was
my
painted to look
goodness.
like that. And then I did a leather grip to look like Hulkbuster.
That's amazing.
So that's all hand tooled. And then I stitched them on.
Is there anything, Mary, that you can't do, or it's basically just limited by your imagination?
For me, it's limited by how long it takes me to learn how to do it.
Okay, well, good.
Because I always say, nobody will. Oh, I'm knocking stuff over. Hold on.
Okay.
Trying not to. There we go. I always just get these ideas in my head, and I go, I know there's a way to do it. How do I do it? And it might take me a little while, and I might just experiment and it work out great the first time, and I might just experiment and it just fail the first time. This was another one we did for International Challenge.
Oh my goodness, that looks like a samurai sword.
So the goal was to build a rod that looked like your home state and represented it. So I'm South Carolina. We were going to do the beaches, right? So we hand wrap or wested the hand wrapping of the.
Look at that.
I put a beach on the winding check. There's actually a shark's tooth in there. Did
Oh
the
my goodness.
scales wrap to look like waves, and then we were having to do logos for companies that we use. So Alps is in there. Sorry, Kevin. And Wes did the state flag on this one. The winding.
Your state's a lot more complicated. Illinois, I would just have to build a rod with prison bars. But anyway,
that's awesome.
Just food for thought.
And then my very last one is the People's Choice Award.
Oh,
I had to show her because she's my favorite, but she's also really long too. So Don Schaefer painted the rod. This is an Atrex blank. They're all carbon fiber, and I had him paint it basically bust yellow.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful, Mary.
This rod is actually a memorial rod for my late mother-in-law. She always wanted a yellow jigging rod. I put her favorite flowers on here with her initials, and let's see, the sugar skull.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful.
Everything's
now that face on there, what kind of artwork is that? That's really cool.
So that's leather that I actually tooled and carved and painted and dyed to get it to look like that. And the other favorite thing that most women get a kick out of is those flowers. I don't know if you can really see them in the camera.
Yeah.
Those are just regular dried flowers.
Oh my goodness. That's really cool.
I go, how do I make it happen?
That is so far above what I do. I was really happy after I stopped gluing myself to the table.
Oh, me too.
And so just to see all that stuff, it's absolutely just incredible, absolutely beautiful work, Mary. Absolutely beautiful work. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Thread Central. So tell us a little bit about that.
So threadcentral.net is actually a collaboration between Billy Vavona, David Bull, and myself. We all are big, avid, passionate people about teaching decorative wraps and all that's involved with it. So that is our landing site. My courses are there. The supplies I sell, Billy's shade packs, his EVA, and David's visual wrap and all that stuff is on that site because we wanted it to be like that kind of one-stop shop for people that were doing decorative wraps. So all of that is there. So that's basically, you go there and you can get your shade packs, you can pick a course out, you can get books, you can get a decorative wrap alignment jig, packing tools, you name it, and you've got pretty much everything you need to be able to start.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So let's talk a little bit now that people know about that. We're going to give them all their information before we leave here tonight. Well, let's talk a little bit about your podcast a little bit more. So this is new.
It's new.
And it's new. And like you and I were talking beforehand, we love doing it, and we're glad when people want to come and join the insanity.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your podcast.
I actually got this idea leaving ICAST this year. And on the way home, Wes and I, our little 8.5 hour drive, we're brainstorming, like, what do we want to do with it? Where do we want to go? And I said, okay, well, 90% of the groups and some of the, I know that, Bill Falconer has his podcast with English Resource, and they're talking about like how to build the rods, the right guide trains, all that stuff. I don't want to talk about that because there's so much information out there in regards to it. YouTube, everything, going to classes. Let's talk about all the ways that we can take a rod. We build it. It's real simple and make it custom for you. And it doesn't have to be these elaborate over the top pieces that I do. I like to do theme builds, if you can't tell. Right. But it's, the podcast is fun. I mean, we get to sit here and talk back and forth because, Wes taught me everything I know. And I get to listen to his version of the story basically and how I felt about it. But our first 2 episodes are out. We've recorded the 3rd one already, but the first one was just basically who we are, how we got into rod building. And then this past one that just dropped today is about why you should decorate it. And some of the key points were just, hey, it adds skills into your pocket as a builder that, you start posting this stuff. If you try it on your own personal builds, you want to put a dragon scale on there. You want to put a tiger wrap, you want to do a couple trims and some simple stuff. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate, but you're starting to build skills that will eventually, if you're selling rods and you're trying to get customers, but they'll start going, hey, I like that. Can I get one? And so it's just helping the community move forward. Basically, don't just, yes, everybody, you can go to Mudhole, you can learn how to build a rod. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And those are great. And those are the ones that we take out fishing all the time. My girls fish, all of these go fishing, but it's just, I wanted to have fun and teach at the same time. So we just kind of banter back and forth and talk about all the things that we like to do. And each episode is going to be talking about a different technique that you can do, from wraps to grips to marbling, painting, all the above.
And I got into marbling for a bit too, and I think that's really cool. But I think somebody who's as good at teaching as you are, I think this is going to be a very successful platform for you, because there's going to be a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to watch this and want to watch this as time goes on, because it is a skill. It is an art. There's no doubt. When I first put my first rod together, as ugly as it was, it actually functioned.
Well, yeah, I've got my first rod in house. It's not cute either.
yeah, I got news for you. I would, if we ever want to do ugly rod contests, I'm just telling you, I might have you on this one. I was just happy that it stayed together, but I think it's going to be really cool so when is the podcast going to be on? When does it air so people can start to follow you and like people? I encourage you. I honestly, I've watched Mary work over the last couple of years and watched her do it live in front of people. She's an excellent teacher. And I highly recommend that you get on her podcast to learn. Both of us, and I'm older than her, both of us picked up rod building later in life. And I can tell you in the wintertime, it's therapeutic for me. I enjoy it from the simple aspect of being able to do something, go out and catch fish on it. It adds a whole nother aspect to my love of fishing. And Mary's taken it even further because she can be creative in what she does, and learning from somebody. You only get better at something by learning from somebody else, or one of the keys is learning from somebody else who knows more than you. And when it comes to this thing, Mary is the best I've seen at this point. So Mary, when does this podcast come on?
So right now we're on every 2 weeks. So every other Tuesday, we're getting a new episode out, just because I've got online courses I have to keep doing and live videos and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's right now just every other Tuesday. I don't have a set date. So one just went out today. So not next Tuesday, but the next week after. I'll try to get it more on a schedule, because right now I'm just trying to get into a groove and get it, I don't know, outlined better, if that makes sense.
Sure. And Savannah and Jim just came on and they said, listen to the first one. It was awesome. Now here, Patrick Williams, I left this comment up because I think this is important. Glad, Jim, you mentioned Mary on Facebook the other day. Now I see why you're having her on. Her artwork and the rods is amazing. Going to arrange with her to decorate one of my favorite rods in my state themes and colors. She is impressive and obviously creative. Talent is talent. You are right, Patrick. Enjoying listening to her. Will need also to get my granddaughter's rod decorated.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So there you go. I tell you, we have an absolutely wonderful wonderful, wonderful audience. And they are very giving and very supportive. So I'm glad for all of you again who are here tonight, and those of you that we'll see on Roku and Fire TV later. Mary, before we let you go, a couple things. Where can everybody find? We've talked about Thread Central, your podcast. Where else can they find you?
So I've got a Facebook group. I mean, a Facebook business page. So the Decorative Studio. But I'm on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. I am on Instagram. Everything is the Decorative Studio. That is the handle for it. TikTok surprisingly is very accepting of the stuff I do. So it's been kind of fun being in that area. But everything can be found under the Decorative Studio, just about anywhere. I'm not on Twitter. That's the only thing I'm not on.
I got to draw the line somewhere. I'm on several, and I'm like, I can't. I unless you have a team, and my team is me.
Yeah.
Right, and your team is you and Wes. So after a bit, you got to stop it somewhere. But I appreciate you taking your time to come on tonight. I think your work is absolutely amazing, wonderful, creative, and I love the passion that you have. I love the most, I think, the passion that you have for teaching people, because I honestly feel we can make this sport better by passing on what we know, so it will grow.
Yes.
And obviously you and Wes feel the same way. And it was wonderful to have you on. Thank
you for having me.
Oh, you bet. And great to see you again. And all the best. And hopefully we'll have some people come and check. I'm sure they will come and check you out. But keep going at it. Keep going strong. I can't wait to see what your next creation is. God bless you, Mary. Thank you and Wes for your time.
Thank you.
Told you that was talent. I told you she was going to be good. And by a lot of you commenting tonight, I'm glad you did. And thank you so much for everybody hanging around, because that was good. And now if you're interested at all in building rods with somebody who's very passionate about it, make sure that you check out Mary's podcast and find out more information about her. You will learn from her. I've seen her teach. I've seen her at ICAST the last couple of years doing it, and the crowds gathering around her. Obviously, as you saw, the woman knows what she's talking about, and she's very, very good at it. So thank you all for doing that tonight. Before we leave, couple things again I want to say again. Please, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube page, which is Jim Crowley Outdoors on YouTube, please do so, because you can see not only all these podcasts, but also all of season 1 and season 2 as it develops on Wired to Fish TV. We're adding more stations to Wired to Fish coming up by the end of the year. I think we're on 9 streaming stations now. But if you just want to see past episodes and you just want to go see them anytime you can, go to Jim Crowley Outdoors on YouTube. Please subscribe to the page and share that information with your friends. If you like, those of you who watch a podcast and you watch a show know that I deal in information. And we like you guys to have good information, and we do that the best we can on those shows from Wired to Fish TV as well as this podcast. So thank you for that. If you like this episode tonight, please share it. I want to thank our amazing friends at American Tackle. Thank you for some of them for watching tonight. They're wonderful, wonderful people. Our friends at Explore Lacrosse, looking forward, as I said, going back up there again in a couple of weeks. Our friends at Shields, if you're in that area, I will say this and I say it all the time. Absolutely incredible store. Absolutely. And I love all the people at Shields. They are wonderful, wonderful people. Our friends at Cask King, please make sure that you watch out for more stuff. Cask King has a great newsletter. Subscribe to that, because you can find it, and there's discounts coming all the time from Cask King. Also, our friends that we are powered by our friends at Dakota Lithium. Again, 11-year warranty, twice the power, half the charging time. I've never been more satisfied in a battery than I am with Dakota Lithium. Before we leave tonight, I do want to give you a code. You want 20% off of some great stuff at American Tackle? Go to AmericanTackleAnglerProducts.com. Put in the code JCO20, and you will get 20% off everything at AmericanTackleAnglerProducts.com. As I just mentioned, our friends at Cask King. I just put out a post today on a new MG20 reel that came out several months ago. I think there's a discount on that, but put this code in, JC52AFF, you get 20% off. You get 20% off of anything, rods, reels, anything. The new tackle bags, the new tools, everything at Cask King. You use that code, you will get 20% off. Our friends at Cask King keep raising the bar. Wait till you see some of the new reels coming out, including a new iReel that they just launched at ICAST, which was absolutely incredible. Incredible. You can download the app, all your fishing information right on your phone. Unbelievable how many casts you made, how far your casts were, your retrieve speed, all that. The new iReel from Cask King. You want 20% off that reel? Put that code in, JC52AFF. Couple more comments. Guys, thank you so much for all the nice comments. Hey, somebody said they're going to Shields tomorrow. Thinking a trip to Wichita, Kansas to see the Shields stir tomorrow. Patrick, you will not be disappointed. Everybody at Shields, they know what they are talking about. Incredible store. Awesome show tonight. Very informative. Thank you, sir. So much appreciate you tuning in. And I appreciate all of you tuning in. As I always tell you, and I will continue to tell you, we will not have a show. We would not if it wasn't for all of you. Thank you for your time tonight. Thank you for joining us. Another couple weeks, we'll be back with another episode of Slickfish Radio with another cool guest. Until then, God bless you all. See you soon.